Welcome to Simply English, an educational channel.
How to improve English speaking really comes in handy.
Uh-huh.
It's almost like a toolkit to help you rewire your brain
Yeah,
so that you can speak English confidently and fluently.
absolutely.
So the first thing they talk about is something that you might feel a little weird about at first,
Oh.
talking to yourself.
Oh, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
But think about it. We already have those conversations in our heads all the time.
That's,
So why not just say those thoughts out loud in English?
yeah, it's almost like you're on your own personal stage, isn't it?
That's a great way to put it.
So the guide suggests starting simple, like narrating your day
Mhm.
or describing what you see around you.
Mhm.
You can even rehearse presentations or have imaginary debates, all in English, of course.
Exactly. And the point of all this is to get yourself used to the sound of your own voice in English.
Right.
But there's also a sort of psychological aspect to it.
Oh,
Putting your thoughts into words, it really helps solidify them in your mind.
okay.
It's a form of active recall, which can really strengthen your memory and how well you understand things.
So we've tackled that inner critic, and we're getting more comfortable speaking out loud.
Yep.
Now let's talk about how to make our English sound more natural, more like a native speaker.
Okay.
So in the guide, they call this technique shadowing.
Ah, yes. Becoming a vocal chameleon.
I like that.
It's all about mimicking native speakers, whether it's from podcasts, movies, anything you enjoy, really.
Yeah.
You have to listen really carefully to how they speak, their rhythm, their intonation,
Oh,
even the way they put emphasis on certain syllables.
yeah, true.
And then you pause it and repeat it, trying your best to match their delivery as closely as you can.
It's kind of like how musicians learn by ear, picking up melodies and rhythms just by listening.
That's a great analogy.
Except in this case, you're absorbing the music of spoken English,
Yeah,
what linguists call prosody.
precisely.
I heard that word.
And it's prosody that gives spoken language that natural flow and expressiveness.
Okay.
When you practice shadowing, you begin to internalize those subtle nuances,
Uh-huh.
which in turn will make your English sound more authentic.
So we're working on fluency and we're refining pronunciation.
Yes.
Now let's think about expanding our vocabulary a bit.
How do we do that?
So the guide has this really simple but powerful exercise.
Okay.
Describe what you see,
Oh, I love that one.
right?
It forces you to think in English instead of translating from your native language. Just look around your room right now.
Mm-hmm.
How would you describe everything you see? The objects, colors, textures, all in English.
It's funny how much we take for granted in our own language.
It's true.
Then all of a sudden you're like, wait, what's the word for doorknob again? What is carpet in English?
Yeah.
It's a really fun challenge.
It is. And it also brings up another important learning principle,
Which is?
active recall.
Ah, yeah.
By making yourself search for the right words, you're strengthening those connections in your brain,
Right.
making it easier to remember and use those words later on.
So speaking of active recall, let's talk about putting ourselves in the hot seat,
Okay.
recording and listening back to our own speaking practice.
Mm-hmm.
I have to admit, this one can be a bit nerve-wracking.
It's definitely a moment of truth,
Yeah.
but it's so valuable
Mm-hmm.
because you hear those little stumbles, the pronunciation things, the grammar mistakes that you might not even notice while you're speaking.
Right.
Uh,
The guide doesn't tell you exactly what to record,
Mhm.
so the options are endless, really.
for sure.
You could practice any of the techniques we've talked about so far.
Yep.
You could do a mock interview.
Yeah,
You could even record a shadowing session to compare yourself to the original.
absolutely. And as you listen back to yourself, really try to focus on specific things you can improve.
Yeah.
Like, are you pausing too much? Your pronunciation clear? Are you using a good variety of vocabulary?
Right.
This self-assessment is crucial for finding your weak spots and working on them.
Okay, so for our final tip, let's talk about using technology to our advantage.
Yeah.
Speaking apps.
Mm-hmm.
Now, a lot of those apps are all about finding language partners,
Right.
but we're focused on solo practice here.
Yeah.
But even on your own, those voice recording features in those apps
Hmm.
can be super helpful.
Oh, yeah. Think of it like a mini recording studio right in your pocket.
I like that.
You can play around with different accents, practice specific sounds, record and re-record until you get that tricky phrase just right. It's taking those tried and true techniques and giving them a boost with technology.
I love that. And it really fits in with the whole idea of this deep dive, which is
Yeah,
creating those personalized learning experiences that work for you on your own schedule.
absolutely. And the key takeaway from all of this is consistency.
Mm-hmm.
Even just 10 minutes a day, using these tips can make a huge difference over time.
Right.
It's about building those small, consistent habits that will help you become fluent in the long run.
So there you have it. 5 strategies to help you practice speaking English all on your own, ready to go whenever and wherever you are.
Yep.
You're not limited by location, your schedule,
Yeah,
or even being shy.
exactly.
So I'm curious, which of these tips stood out to you the most?
Yeah.
What are you most excited to try first? This deep dive may be over, but your journey to speaking English with confidence is just getting started.
That's right.
Keep practicing, and we'll see you in our next deep dive.
Thanks for watching this video from Simply English, an educational channel for all ages and all stages. If you're new to this channel and enjoyed this video, please subscribe and press the like button. If you have any suggestions, please mention them in the comments section. Take care, and goodbye.